self-esteem. If an individual feels like they're judging themselves at work, they might feel incompetent. They might have low self-esteem because they really struggle to focus and they feel like they're not doing as well as the rest of their colleagues. What would you say to that person?
I'm sorry you feel that way. If there was anyone who's going through this right now, I'm very sorry you're feeling that way. My first question to you is, are you being accommodated?
That is a very, very right.
That would be my. I'm sorry, and are you being accommodated? And I would say, in the vast majority of cases, the answer would be no.
Rather than getting angry at yourself and getting frustrated at yourself and judging yourself, definitely ask whether you're being accommodated, because you are not the problem. And like the fact that you have ADHD or ADHD traits, that's not your fault. You didn't choose it. So being accommodated is really important.
So you are not the problem, but it's your responsibility to know yourself, get to know yourself, and understand what your accommodation needs might be. Right?
Yes.
Remember again, you don't have to disclose your disability. You might just need to disclose your requirements. I need clear instructions. I need clear schedules. I need clear expectations. So those are things that can be accommodated fairly easily. And again, ADHD, ADD is a quote unquote a little more socially acceptable to speak about in the workplace, which is good, right? Like anything helps. Anything that helps open these conversations is.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. No, don't draw that on my nose. Thankfully, it didn't. It's trying to, but no. Wow. Woo! I have no idea what my ticks are doing. Yes, definitely. It helps to develop the confidence to ask for accommodations, because ADHD and ADHD traits are not a character flaw. That's really important to say. Mm-hmm. And you deserve accommodations because your brain just isn't doing what most people's brains do. So it's not a character flaw. It's just that you need a bit of extra support from the outside, like an accommodation, to be able to sort of function as other people. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think you know what I mean. Because your brain isn't doing certain things, you need the outside accommodations to give you an equal chance. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so if a person experiences a lot of physical restlessness, they might just gonna freeze.
Restlessness.
If a person experiences a lot of physical restlessness and they may struggle to work in like an office environment, I feel like you're going to say it depends on the individual, because this is very individualized, but is there like a particular sort of job area that you would recommend for them? Beans.
Okay, so if most individuals experiencing ADHD in a very physical way, most will naturally tend to go towards careers that are very physical or might have a certain physical requirement. Where there isn't, try to find a way to blow off that energy if you are physically able to, going to the gym or finding some exercise, or taking scheduled breaks for walking around, jogging, whatever it is, to literally blow off that steam. So for some people, it's 5 minutes every hour. Others, it's like, okay, I have to work in certain blocks and then I take another block and then I start again. So again, it's up to the individual. But if you are experiencing the hyperactive, the physically hyperactive aspect of it, yeah, make sure you include breaks where you can release that added energy.
Like, could extra breaks be added to like someone's accommodations because they, like, if there's like, I don't know, or just rather than having one big block of a break, maybe that could be split up so that a person can get up and move about. Could that be one accommodation that person has?
Right. So the freedom, so again, it's up to the person, right? So some people like to have that 5-minute break, again, because we can fall down that rabbit hole, right? We can get into hyper-focus mode, which can be really good, but not always.
I'm going to focus on the anatomy of snails. Goodbye.
So, for example, so if you're in hyper-focus mode, hyper-physical, hyper-focus mode, use it. Stay there. If it's working, don't fix it. Just remember to take bathroom breaks.
Yes, I know when I went through a phase of experiencing a lot of hyperactivity, because after infection, brain inflammation, I developed a lot of hyperactivity. It gave me a lot of empathy for people with ADHD, I have to say. I mean, I was already empathetic, but a lot more understanding of it. I found what worked for me was I was, thank goodness, doing online college at this point. I would like put my laptop on the kitchen counter and I'd be working, but then I'd just take a stroll around the kitchen, then come back to it, take a stroll around the kitchen, come back to it, because I could not stay still. And I worked standing up as well because sitting down like this, yeah, not comfortable. And also I use, what was it, speech to text, because my brain was going so fast that I could not sit down to type. So that's also maybe an accommodation that somebody could use, maybe not in the office, because I feel like an office, potentially there could be background noise and speech to text might not work.
And it also would distract your colleagues, depending on the environment.
Yeah. If it's like a shared office, then speech to text, everyone will hear what you're saying and might be a bit distracted. But working from home does offer that sort of flexibility where you can do what works for you. And I think that's really important. Some people might not do things in a way that works for them because they may feel like it's negative, but it's really not. Doing things in a way that works for you is the way you're going to get the best results. So don't try and do stuff the other way, like that everyone else does it, because that's just not what works for you. Your brain is working differently to other people's brains. You shouldn't try and fit yourself into a box. So yes.
Precisely. Actually, it's interesting because, well, it's been a while since I've had a sit-stand desk, and that's probably why I forgot to mention it, but that was one of my main things, being able to like sit stand. It was a bar height bar stool. So yeah, I could just stand or just sit, and it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yes. This is slightly off topic, but this chair is actually an accommodation because this chair is an accommodation because I used to have a stool without a back, but I developed muscle weakness, so I couldn't use it anymore. So I was able to get this chair, like a big office chair. That's an accommodation. So not related to ADHD in the slightest, I'm aware, but because you said something about a chair, I was like, I have a...
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Thank you so much, Christine, for doing this video with me. And you have covered some very important points, and I know that it'll be hopefully be very helpful to the people watching this. You have a lot of experience and a lot of expertise in this area, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me back. I'm always happy to have a chat with you, Romy. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you for watching, everybody, and wow, we hope that you have enjoyed it. Bye.